What up, peeps? It's your girl Josh coming back to you for real takes. It's that time again. It's the weekend, and you know one of my favorite things to do with you guys is talk all things movies. It is movie news time, and I'm so forward to talking about quite a few things. Some things that transpired during the week that just fell into our lap. Trailers dropping, just a whole bunch of feels going on. So you know what? Let me just go ahead and jump right into you guys. The first order of business I want to discuss is a new movie that's going to be starring Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's supposed to be a mysterious new sci-fi. There's no title, but it is going to be through Netflix. I'm actually excited, and just like I say quite lately and quite often, Netflix seems to just be on a whole new level. I know when we just recently had, it'll be a week tomorrow where the Emmys were broadcasted, and they were tied with how many Emmys with HBO. Kudos to them, because when I think how far they've come, when it used to just be, us, renting out movies for them and sending them back, now they've established themselves through, of course, streaming. We have, a plethora of shows that they're, showcasing yearly now. And then we also have movies that they're creating new movies and new TV series. One thing I said that I like about Netflix is the fact that we get to, once a new season starts, we get the whole kit and caboodle. We get all of the episodes. I love it. Now, there's nothing wrong with other shows, because I know I can speak only for myself. I like that I do have that time in between each week in case things are popping with work or whatever, to catch up on whatever episode before the next episode. Then there's some people who are probably YouTubers who are like, I'm kind of glad, I have a week from that, because there might be other things they're trying to work on to put out for content. So it works for everyone, however, whichever way works better, whichever. So like I said, Netflix is doing their thing, and I'm loving it. I'm excited for this. Like I said, Jamie Foxx and Joseph are attached now. Jamie Foxx, he's a little busy guy now. He did great, Baby Driver. He has his TV show. He's also in the midst of getting ready to probably start promo soon for the movie Robin Hood. I'm looking forward to that. Also, with Joseph, he finished like a year or so ago, he did the biopic for Snowden. Now, since this is sci-fi, I know a lot of people are not familiar with Jamie doing a lot of sci-fi, but we know Gordon-Levitt, he is very well known for that. I liked him when he did the movie Looper, and also when he did Inception. So this is, right up his alley. Secondly, he can kind of give who, Jamie, some pointers about how to deal with sci-fi, characters, whatever, and whatever it's going to entail. I look forward to knowing who's going to be attached to this. We don't have, of course, a director listed yet, and what's the name. I like how they're being very secretive, but I like the casting on that. That looks really good, and a lot of actors are really feeling Netflix. They're feeling a little bit more, in some ways, creative with certain things. Not to say, regular television and movies aren't, but it just seems like they have a little bit more, open to doing a little bit more different things, whatever. And they're probably liking the scripts, because a lot of people seem to be finding their way to Netflix. It's just like, we have, what is it? A new movie just came out this past week, Netflix Ever After. We have a new television series, Maniac. I just finished watching The Innocents, which I need to do a review for that. That'll be coming up very soon. And yeah, I'm just loving what I'm seeing from them. I just can't keep up with them. It's almost damn near impossible. But yes, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, I don't have a title. They have not noted a title. I don't have a date of when they think this is going to come out. I want to feel like 2019. It might come out closer to the end of the year, depending on depending on the schedules. Because I think for right now, I think Joseph is actually working on a movie, and if I'm not mistaken, they say he's working on an action thriller called 7500. So right now, they're both busy doing some things. So maybe probably going to early year, they'll probably start working on the movie. And hopefully, like I state, when I know more, I'll let you guys know as I know. So, but moving on from that, next thing, order of business, I'm looking forward to Michael B. Jordan, building his work. As you all know, he has a movie coming out in November. I'm looking forward to it. Creed 2. It's looking good. He did very great over the beginning of the year, cranking out that, heavy hitter Black Panther. He did Fahrenheit 451. So the brother's busy. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to do. He's actually going to be doing, coming on board to do what's considered the Tom Clancy novels, that are, what is it titled? Without Remorse and Rainbow Six. I'm actually excited for that, because this puts him in a particular genre, even though he's very well known. He's building up his A-list cred with the movies he's picking. This one's going to be more so where it's centered on him. He's the lead in this particular film, and these will most likely be action sequences. He already has the build, the aesthetics to do this particular role. He's very good at playing a lot of dramatic films. I can't say I've seen him in anything that's really comedy, led. So you can say, yeah, more so, the suspense, the action, the drama. So yes, this is that core thing. Now, this is those John Clark film series that they're wanting to do, and I'm actually looking forward to him doing this. Now, we don't have a director who is slated to do this. I have one in mind because I'm waiting to hear back about another movie, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Well, two of them. I think Christopher McQuarrie would be a good considered person. I know some other people might agree with that. Also, I'm wondering if it's anybody else. Comment you guys below. Let me know whoever else you think could be a great director for him to showcase, his skills in these two particular upcoming movies he's going to be doing from this film series. I just think that they got to find the perfect director to make it all work. And I think Christopher has proven himself a formidable foe for that. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever he's going to pick, Christopher. I know Tom wants him for the next Mission Impossible because the last one was excellent. If you have not seen the last Mission Impossible, it just came out, you all really need to get on. I think it was good. Secondly, I was really hoping that, him working with Henry Cavill, he might consider doing Man of Steel 2 if they start getting their minds right over there at Warner Brothers. Whatever. Yeah, I'm still in my feelings about that, but whatever. So let me move on from that. But yes, he's just one name that just instantly popped in my mind when I heard that Michael B. Jordan is set to be attached to this. So I'm hoping that we'll know some more. And I think since it's not coming out now, I'm hoping they'll say some more stuff about a couple of directors that are in consideration, whatever. We won't know fully until they put out the statement, whichever. Directors can't talk about these things when they're in the midst of a possibility coming on as a contractor for a particular movie. I know that is the way to do things, but I love when things sometimes for these particular things to leak, like knowing who's going to be directed. But anyway, so yes, you guys, I'm excited for Michael B. Jordan. I love that he has some other things in the pike. Once he, of course, does his press, probably after Creed 2, we'll know a little bit more about this. And fingers crossed we get a really good director, whichever and all that, because I feel like if they do, he will do very well. So when they do the first one, which I think is going to be without remorse, then he most definitely has that locked in fan base. He'll do good on the second one for the film series. So we're moving on from that. Speaking of reboots, excited about this one. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Of course, Men in Black. We have Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, teaming up again. You all know they were in Thor 3, Ragnarok, and they did hilarious in that. I loved their banter. I love the way she carried herself. Chris Hemsworth, I can't go wrong. I just love, he's very charismatic, very funny, goofy. He can be serious or goofy, which is great. Now, I'm curious to know, but I already think I do, they're playing, what is it, Agent H and Agent M. Now, this is the thing I'm curious, which I think he's going to be the more laid-back, goofy, and she's going to be the no-nonsense. I don't foresee it being the other way around. I don't see Tessa's character in this one being the one that's going to be the goofy one. So that's kind of where I'm going with that, but I'm excited for it. They put out some recent pictures of them on set, and they look like they're having fun. I'm looking forward to seeing, exactly what's going to happen in this movie with them. I already know they're going to bring the action. They both are very, good at, showcasing and flexing their muscles. So that's not going to be an issue. They show a picture of her in full, Men in Black, whatever. And of course it shows him, him playing around, whatever. Somebody videoing them and then him videoing them both, showing a selfie. So just look like they're having some fun on the set, whatever. It's not all serious and all that. And that's actually a good thing. And I would think it'd be a little bit more kind of laid back type of set anyway. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, besides those two, I want to see Rebecca Ferguson's character in this. I talked about her a couple weeks ago coming on board with the cast. So, like I said, she's another busy, and she was another one that was in, of course, Mission Impossible 6. So, I'm just happy that she's doing her thing. I really like her as an actress, and I'm loving what she's putting out as well. So, as I said, you guys, if they start showing any more information, screenshots, whatever, especially for Rebecca, now that we already seen a couple from Tessa and Chris, I will bring those to you guys. So, but moving on from that, I have some information about DC. They're kind of, like I said, they're doing a reset with DC movies, DC Universe, and it's nothing wrong with that. I'm wanting them to do that because, like I stated a couple weeks ago, and I've been talking about it off and on, discussing anything between them and Marvel. I like both. Marvel is on a whole nother level with their stuff. It seems like the way they have everything phased out, the way they're putting out, it seems to be working for. They've already found their niche. DC is still trying to find it. Now with DC's Birds of Prey, we already know that Margot Robbie is at the attach, and I'm loving that. Now we're trying to finally put a rest of the cast together for the other ladies, and I have quite a bit I had to write down for this because we have a couple people who are being considered. Now, for this particular person, for Dinah Lance, they have a couple of different names they have listed that they're going. We have Juju Mbatha-Raw. Then we have also Journey Smollett Bell. Then we also have our girl from Hidden Figures star Janelle Monáe. They're being listed for the particular part. Then we have another couple ladies who are being interested in the character's Huntress. That's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And then we also have Margaret Qualley. So we have those people considered. And also another one, Kristen Milioti. I might be saying her last name wrong. My apologies, you guys. Then for another character, which is for Renee Montoya, they have listed as Roberta Colindrez and then also Justina Machado. I hope I'm saying her name right. My apologies. I'm glad we're kind of getting down to the wire with a list of these ladies for Birds of Prey, because these particular females, are very central to this particular part of DC. I'm looking forward to it. I know some people are wishing they did Gotham City Sirens, and I actually kind of agree. I remember they talked about that early on, and for some reason it just kind of fell off to the wayside, and then they went straight with Birds of Prey. And I think the reason for that is probably most likely that Margot Robbie, decided when she did Suicide Squad, people loved her as Harley Quinn. I did too, and a lot of people took a shining to her. The movie made about $750 million, so a lot of people did like it. And I think with her doing other movies and getting more well known in notoriety, whatever, her being at the helm of the girl, DC's Birds of Prey, she's going to be the main linked up for that, whichever. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, almost like we have to get what we can get for this right now, because they're trying to put out some good work with DC. They're doing very well. They have a lot of stuff lined up. One this year, of course, Aquaman, and we have 3 things coming out next year I'm excited about. And also I'm hearing news now that the Harley and Joker movie, the script is now complete. I had already talked about last week the Suicide Squad 2's script has been completed, but things are being pushed back. And I think for the Harley and Joker movie, that's definitely not on the horizon anytime soon, because like I stated, there are key characters who are working on other movies. Margot, of course, doing Birds of Prey. Then she has some other things she's working on. Also, like I said, Will Smith, he has a couple things lined up he's doing before he even come on board to do Suicide Squad 2. And then the thing after that, that's probably when the Harley and Joker movie will finally, get on the way for them to start production. He has, Bad Boys 3, he has Bright 2, and then he'll be able to start doing Suicide Squad 2. So all these things are kind of getting pushed back. But we do have other things, in the mix that they're working on. So that'll keep everybody, busy with enjoying other movies from DC until everything starts. It's almost like, even though I said Marvel has their phases all set up the way they're doing it and the way they have everything in production, the way it just seems to flow seamlessly, DC's trying to find that balance too. I can kind of see what they're trying to do, whichever. That's why I feel like all these things are happening. These are movies that are most likely going to come out, if not 19 or 20. So it's a good thing. We already have Shazam in April. Then we have we have in November Wonder Woman, and then October is Joker, and then in November we have Wonder Woman, so yes, it's just a lot going on, but I'm excited for that, and it's all good because I just want them to get their just due and get some things out, whichever, and all that. It's good competition, but not too much competition, because like I said before, Marvel's like really up here and DC's kind of down there. They're trying to get up there, so they're working there. They have a long way to go, but they're doing their part. And I just feel like I said, they can find their niche and just find a way to just seamlessly have everything come out, whatever and all that, then they'll be doing good and get back on track, and people will be happy because they got to get their stuff together. Last week I was talking about Henry Cavill, the Superman thing, and then the Batman thing, and these are 2 core characters from DC. They really need to figure out what they're doing and get it together, because some people are just not feeling it right now. And I'm one of them. I'm going to still be there to bat for them and go see them and support them. But some of these things that they're making decisions on, they really need to get that crap together. But speaking of moving on, speaking of this movie, I'm looking forward to you guys commenting about this one, because this is one of those ones I really didn't want to comment about, because it's like there's really nothing to really add, because it just seems like I don't know what they're doing with this movie, and that is Gambit. Now, I talked about this earlier in the year, how I'm excited for this. I really enjoyed the little bit that they gave us from this when they did the X-Men movie. I want to say X-Men, was it Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken, with Hugh Jackman. It was fine for what it was, but I said the potential of them doing a standalone and whoever would be in it, it would be fine. Now, Taylor Kitsch, I enjoyed him in it. I loved the accent. He was hilarious. I was here for it. I would have loved if him done it, but that's okay. Channing Tatum is going to do it, and I'm fine with him. I like him as an actor. He's doing his thing. He's worked a long way to get to where he's at, and he's got the aesthetics. He's got the prowess. The physicality, the fight sequences. I can see he can do them. Whatever he did, very good in Kingsman too. So I can see the potential. Now, my problem is this. This is a movie that they claim was supposed to be coming out in June of 2019. Now, I'd like to know how that's supposed to be when you have no director attached. I don't know what's happening with this. Channing was the only one that's still attached to this movie, and for some reason he feels very confident with this movie enough to stay on board while they're trying to figure out whatever they're doing. And by God, they really need to figure it out, because it seems like it's taking them longer than usual. Now, secondly, also with the merger happening, the merger won't go through until mid 2019, and by then, if I'm not mistaken, the license to return everything that's in regards to X-Men, whatever, will be moved over to Marvel. This movie, if it's in production next year, will be in the midst of production. I don't know if this will be one of those ones that gets to be moved over, where Marvel will finally have control over it to add, so we can start having all these other movies that a lot of people, comic book fans probably in particular, would love to see happen. I know they would love to see Fantastic Four, they'd love to see X-Men in the universe. This is all the things they want. I mean, they would literally be just literally tears flowing for what they really truly want to happen for Marvel, to keep extending it and creating and growing it. I don't know what to think. They're just throwing this stuff. I don't know if they're trying to leak this rumor on to see if they have any excitement or hype from people, whatever. It's like this. If it's, if you don't have visual, you don't see it a lot, people ain't thinking about it. And it's just randomly how it just came out recently. So I said, I'm just going to talk about it, because I'm ranting about it because I'm still annoyed at the fact that what is happening. I would really like them to just start. Now, they're claiming production's supposed to be starting, but again, how? There's no director. Who else is going to be cast? We need more. So I really hope they make up some type of statement or say something very similar and all that, or they're going to put this on the back burner, because this has been in talks since 2014, and let's just do the math. That was 4 years ago, and nothing has still happened. I know a lot of other movies, they go through the whole same thing with Spawn. They've been talked about whatever, and Jamie Foxx, wait, and they finally got the director, and they're finally getting the cast, whatever and all, but nobody want to wait forever. It's like, just I want them to get better with trying to figure out what they're doing. If not, then put this on the shelf and just move on, whatever. And if Channing wants to stay attached, then so be it. But right now, again, no director, there's no need to even discuss this. So if I hear anything in the next couple of weeks, whatever, you guys, I will let you all know. But I don't have too much faith in this one, because I've been talking about this since late last year, going into early last year of 2017, talking about this on my radio show, and nothing happened, and that was, so long ago, and now here we are. So, but anyway, I just had to say that I find that really interesting. Secondly, since we're dealing with all these mergers, another thing is happening with some other X-Men movies. We're having the situation where they've pushed back some movies, like New Mutant has been pushed back. I think that's been pushed back, yes, August of next year. And now we're dealing with Dark Phoenix, dealing with some reshoots. That's coming out in February. That was supposed to come out this year. So I just, they're all over the place. They just need to just figure out what they're doing with that, whichever. But like I said, when I know more, I'll let you guys know more. So, but with that said, moving on. Now, this is one of the ones I just actually talked about last week. They were trying to decide who they're going to get for the director, because Danny Boyle had stepped down. This is about James Bond 25. Now, I'm excited we now have a director. It is a Cary Fukunaga. I want to say his name correctly. I hope I did. I'm excited for him. He is a very well-known director. He's doing very well. Plus, he won an Emmy for True Detective Season 1. Great season. Great show on HBO. Loved it. Secondly, he actually is the one that directed all the episodes for the new Netflix series Maniac. I need to watch that very soon. I've been hearing good things about it, so I'm excited. I know Emma Stone's in it, and I need to see that. So, but yes, I'm actually happy, because the whole situation with Bond is that they have this set up to come out next year in 2019. Now, also, it's been noted that since they finally have a director and it got pushed back so late towards the end of this year, it's been moved now. So it will not be November of 2019. It will now be in February of 2020. So that is fine. I figured that was going to happen because they probably don't have enough time to do everything they need to do for whatever set locations, whatever sequences for action, whatever, figuring out which locations for whatever scenes, for whatever the script is written for, whichever, depending on if it's already been written. I know Danny Boyle was attached at first, but what had came up from what I'd heard was when these particular movies come up, and it's a franchise, they have a certain way they want the look and how the character to continue to be portrayed. And for some reason, they didn't want to give up creative control to the director like they wanted to, and Danny Boyle was not on board with that, so he kind of stepped down. Now, Carey, on the other hand, he noted this recently in an interview, and I'm going to say what he actually noted for this. They were discussing the departure of him because he actually was a part of it, but then he kind of stepped down with her. He's just a writer. He was going to direct it, but of course, you remember I told you guys, Andre Muschietti actually is the one who actually directed and did a great job, so and I'm happy. He's back for to do it too. It's all good. Now, this is what Carey says. He says, when they were talking about him coming on board for Warner Brothers to do Bond 25, he says treating him like he would go rogue. That's what they thought of him. But he says he was very open to working with the studio's demands for this particular movie. He says, I would have been a total collaborator. That was the kind of ridiculous part. It was just more of a perception. I've never seen a note and been like, F you guys, no way. It's always been a conversation. And that's a good thing. If you're working with a particular franchise that's already well established and you know it, you have to consider what they want, whichever and all that, and you try to find some type of middle ground, and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually like that. Secondly, you can't just come in and think you're going to get all creative control. I know some people, not to say it's an ego thing, but in some ways it probably can be seen like that, especially if you're a director who's very well known for your work and all that, that they should be able to put all their faith in you. But with this particular franchise, I don't assume so, and I wouldn't think that, and that's why I'm kind of not surprised by this. It's just sad that they couldn't come to a common ground, but in the end, they picked up a really good director. Danny Boyle's a great director, but now they have Carey, and I feel like he's going to do an outstanding job, but trust and believe me, he better deliver, because this is the last one Daniel Craig will be attached to. This will be his 5th and final one before they decide to reinvent James Bond with whoever's going to be the new one to move on the franchise for however more movies they're going to do when they're signed on to, contractually bound to do. Because when I stated Daniel Craig, I don't know if he was signed up for 1 or 2, and when he did them, he did them so well that I think that he was considering the 3rd one. That would have been it, but I think the money must have spoke to him. A little bit creative idea into the storyline might have played a role, and that's why he did the 4th one, and now he's going to do his 5th one, and so he can move on, because I know the brother's probably tired for all the stuff that goes into playing that. That's a very demanding role, so I don't blame him. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad we're getting on the ball. I'm excited. I'm ready to see this. And let me tell you, the date that it's come out, I said February 2020, is February 14, 2020. Is he going to have a love interest? Is there something special about that date? Bring the lovers out there. The men take out their women for dinner for, Valentine's, and then the women hook the men up and go see James Bond. I'm just playing with you all. It's all good, though. There's nothing wrong with the date it picked. I just thought that was rather funny. So, but with that said, moving on, you guys. Now, this is another movie. This is going to be a remake, and I'm not too keen on this, even though the person who's at the helm of it's a great actor, great comedian. I don't know. This has to do with the remake that's going to be starring Eddie Murphy, and it's going to be for grumpier old men. I don't know how I feel about this one, you guys. I love the original, the first 2 that were made. I love some Jack Lemmon, and I love me some Walter Matthau. Why do they feel the need to do this? I'm just like, why? Why do y'all need to touch that? I try to stay, within the middle of error for these things, because there's some, like I said, remakes I'm cool with, and then others and all that. I really feel like sometimes I have the H on my forehead for hypocrisy at times, but I'm like, some movies just like, you don't really need to remake, and I'm like, what? Now I'm gonna tell you like this. Okay, Eddie's at the helm. I know it'll be funny. I don't know how they're gonna do him prosthetically. He's done many things over the years. The Nutty Professor and all that, and takes on the whole role. Is he gonna be an older gentleman? Of course, they're gonna have to age him a little bit. Secondly, it's just him on here. We have the director is Tim Story. Love his work. Okay, who's going to be his sidekick? They haven't decided on who's going to play it, so I'm assuming Tim and Eddie are going to be really trying to look and search for who's going to play his, alongside him when they're having this little situation where the girl comes into town, or the woman comes into town, and they're vying for her affection. Okay. I'm happy to see Eddie in some other things. I know he's been kind of laying low. He doesn't do stuff too much with it and all that. Every now and then he'll pull out a role. He'll do here and there, whatever. But the brother doesn't really have to work. He's done the Shreks. He's done Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, Golden Child, one of my favorites. Oh gosh. There's so many. I know I'm missing some. Harlem Nights. It's just so many to name. Just to name a few. So he has a body of good work. He doesn't have to really prove himself anymore. He's already been there, done it. Did SNL, his comedy, movies or whatever and all that. The brother is just hysterical. I know some people would love him to do some sort of a comeback or whatever, but I'm like, with this being supposedly a comeback, why? That's why I said it would have to be on par, and it would have to be hilarious. Now, I'm down for it if it happens, whatever, and all that. I know Eddie can put his little stamp, but it's like the last couple of his movies that he was trying to bring out that were funny, or Norbit, whatever, and all that, were not funny to me. So I'm going to be really like giving a side eye. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real, and we'll see how it pans out. I'm curious to find out more status on this and more information once he has a sidekick who's going to be the one going, toe to toe with him. That will let me know if I feel like this is going to work. If he doesn't find the perfect fit, I already know. I'm like, nah, this ain't one of those ones I'm gonna go to the movies and see it. I'm just gonna say it right now. I will not go see it. I'm not even care. I'm getting to the point where I'm over it. I said, if it's something I'm just not vibing with, I'm not going to see it. I'm a movie buff to the end, but I'm not going to go to the movies just for the simple fact of going to the movies and then wasting my time and wasting my money. So, but yes, that's how I truly feel about that one. So, but moving on from that. Now, speaking of a reboot, another one, I'm actually excited about this one. I'm curious to see who could play this role. This is going to be at the helm of Red Sonya, and from what I'm hearing, there's a director who's been slated who's supposed to be attached to this. Don't know if it's fully written in stone, but it's Bryan Singer. Now I know he's been going through a couple of things, some hit and misses with some of the things he's done with X-Men, and just having some personal situations. But for some reason, I think he's gotten a slap on the hand, and they're bringing him onto this. I don't know if some people feel confident about him staying on board with this. I'm down to see the movie. If they do recreate it, it depends on it, because I know a while back, word was Rose McGowan and Robert Rodriguez were attached to this, but it fell through for this Red Sonja. And I remember hearing about that, being so that they did she was in the movie Conan the Barbarian with Jason Momoa, whichever. So at first I was kind of iffy, like, well, she played, the villain, protagonist in that one, but then in this one she's supposed to be Red Sonja. I'm like, okay, I'm just not seeing how that's supposed to vibe. But granted, she looked very different. The way she was a villain, that you just play it off and it's not a big deal. Fine. Now, I have one person in mind, and I kind of threw it out to a friend at work, but I cannot remember her name. I almost have a good mind to look it up. You know what? I'm going to look her up. I really need to do that. I'll just do it while I'm talking to you guys. For this particular character, she played Brienne in Game of Thrones. I cannot remember her name, but if you all have watched Game of Thrones, you should know what I'm talking about. And I think she has the height, she has the aesthetic, she has the swordmanship that she can play the role. I'm going to put her picture up here if you all don't know who I'm talking about. Anybody who watches Game of Thrones definitely knows who I'm talking about. I think she would be perfect. Now, if it's some other people you think are in mind who would play perfectly for Red Sonja, drop those names, because I would love to discuss that. I'm looking forward to them kind of considering some people. I'm hoping they come up with a list soon if they're really considering going forward and moving forward with this. This is just in the beginning stages. He's just come on board. They really want to do Red Sonja. This is something they've been trying to do for the last 4 years or so. Because I think, 2008 is when they discussed this and it fell through, whichever. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So 10 years to be exact. So we'll have to see how this one goes out. I really want this one to work. I did enjoy the original one, starring Bridget Nielsen and of course Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was a spinoff from Conan the Barbarian, of course. But can I just say, when I remember that movie, I loved her because she's beautiful and she did her thing in that. But also, there's another character in there that was a scene stealer, and I think if any of you all will know who I'm talking about, Ernie Reyes. He was hilarious. Ernie Reyes Jr. I loved him in that movie. He was hilarious. I loved him in that, and also I love him because he played was it Prince? Was it Tarrant? Did I write it right? Prince Tarn. I had to write his name down because I couldn't remember it. Also, I loved him, of course, when he did Last Dragon. But when he was in that, just always being smitten with Red Sonja, and then of course getting on the nerves of Conan and him picking him up by his neck, whatever, and all playing around when he's like, put me down. It was just too cute, and it was just so funny. I love me some Ernie Reyes. He was just hilarious in that movie. He's done a couple other movies and other stuff over the years, whichever and all that. He's very well known. He's been doing this stuff since he was a child. So whichever and all that. He's just hilarious, and I think he's just a great guy overall and a great actor. But I just loved him in this particular movie, and then of course the other one I decided, like I said, The Last Dragon. So, but yes, I just had to throw out a little shout out because I just thought he was hysterical in that movie. So, but yes, if I know more about that, I will let you guys know. I'm looking forward to knowing more and who will be cast if they move forward like I think they were planning to with this particular movie. I'm totally down for that one. So yeah. My big H is on my forehead right now. Whatever, you guys. Now, speaking of reboot, look, so many reboots. This one came up in the beginning of this week. We finally got some names attached to the reboot for Child's Play, and I'm glad, because for the longest time I was ranting and raving and whining. Honestly, yes, I was. I don't care about the simple fact that, first of all, we were dealing with them doing a reboot of the movie, and then secondly, we're dealing with the reboot of them possibly doing a TV series. Now, for me, I was like, okay, I'm all down for the movie, but then I'm thinking to myself, what's with the issue of doing a TV series? I'm still not on board with a TV series, but I'll tell you why I'm considering it now a little bit. Okay, now for the movie, I'm excited because now we have the name. We have the mother who's going to play the mother. Her name is Aubrey Plaza, excuse me. And then we also have the cop will be in this one. It's going to be Brian Tyree Henry. He's a busy guy. He's going to be in a couple things. He's, of course, on Atlanta. He's in Widows. He's going to be in If Bill Street Could Talk. So he's a busy guy. I'm glad he can add this to his list of movies. Also, we have Gabrielle Bateman. If you all remember him, he was in the movie Lights Out. He played the young brother to another character in the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie now that we have a cast. I wanted to know who was all, because I had a friend who had sent me the information, but it was just them two. I'm like, who's playing the kid? Who's playing the children in the movie? I wanted to know more. So this brings up a little bit, and now that I'm seeing some familiar faces, okay, I can see it's coming together, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Also, we get a first look now at the new Chucky. It looks a little bit more computerized. Looks like a little Chucky Terminator of sorts to me, but it is all good. Looks rather creepy. You see a picture of him where you see a side pan of his eye holding a knife. Very good. I like the way they did that. And I'm just looking forward to just seeing how it's going to all come together. But I think now that we have the kid who's supposed to be playing the new Andy, and it's Gabrielle Bateman, I'm liking the vibe he gave. He was really good in Lights Out, so I'm here for him being cast. I think when I think of him, I'm thinking he's a little bit older than Andy in this particular one they're going to be doing, because when he did Lights Out, he might have been more Andy's age, maybe a year or two older, but he looks like he's going to be a little bit older, like he's like a young teen. So, I don't know. So we'll have to see how they play that out. But I'm loving the cast of it. Secondly, the reason I told you guys I'm kind of interested and intrigued a little bit with the TV series is that because the original creator of Chucky and Brad Dourif, I had already stated how I was bummed because he would not be doing the voice for the new Chucky movie, but he's going to be attached to the TV series. So I said, okay, I'm kind of inclined to see what they're going to do. If Brad Dourif feels more confident of coming on board with the TV series, then that has me a little bit open to seeing what they're trying to do, because I still am not trying to understand what can they possibly do with this TV series to continue it on. How many seasons, how many episodes per season are they trying to do? Is it going to be like a 6 to 8 part of episodes, and then maybe you might do a season 2. How far do they think they can go with this out of a TV series? I need to see the way the storyline is going to flow for me to really feel like this is doable. So, but that's still my reasoning for that, and I feel like that's valid, because it's like a TV series with Chucky. It's still not meshing with me. So once we actually see a trailer for it and I see what they're doing, then I'll understand what's going on. So until then, I'm just going to leave my full, disdain for that until I see what's going on before I'll say I'm really going to come on board to watch that. So, but I just want to bring that to you. I have a cast now. I'm happy. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So I'm looking forward to that trailer for the movie when it comes out. Still don't have a date for when Chucky is supposed to be released, whichever. We're just in the beginning stages of who's been cast. We don't know. I haven't even verified exactly when production actually originally started. So we have not heard that part. Hopefully it is actually getting ready to start either, if not this year, beginning of the next year. This might be something they're trying to have slated to come out later in 2019. That would be nice. It'd be nice if it comes out closer to around Halloween time. So we'll have to see how that pans out, you guys. But again, when I know more, you will know more as well. Speaking of another reboot, I just call this reboot movie news this week. This particular one, I'm actually a little excited about, whichever. I'm hearing now in regards to Charlie's Angels. I'd already told you guys a couple of months ago that Elizabeth Banks is going to be directing it. We already know that she's going to be one of the Bosleys, dealing with her team for the Charlie's Angels. And then also we now hear that Patrick Stewart is attached now. He's going to be another Bosley, maybe for another set of agents, whichever. I think that was really interesting, because at first I thought it was just going to be him. But when I found out Elizabeth Banks is going to be doing the voice, whichever, because most of her parts will be behind the screen since she's directing, that he's just doing some sort of like a quick little cameo of sorts with her. I don't feel like he's going to be really truly attached to this. He's getting ready to do some work dealing with Star Trek again. He's a busy busy man. You know, Patrick Stewart is one of those great actors, which I just love to watch. I'm excited. Like I stated, you all remember I told you who was actually going to be attached to this one. You know, we all remember Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, and Drew Barrymore. But this one we have Kristen Stewart. We already know Naomi Scott. She's from the recent Power Rangers. And we have a newcomer, let me get her name right, Ella Balinska. She's a newcomer, whichever. And I'm looking forward to seeing the ladies do their thing. I'm looking forward to seeing Kristen Stewart kick some butt. We already know Naomi Scott has it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ella's going to bring to the table. And this movie should be good. At first, it was supposed to be consideration for Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and maybe Lupita. But the Lupita, you know, did fell through, and she's not attached. So we have these three girls. I want to see what they're going to bring. The date for this is set for September of 2019, so that means production probably is underway, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Elizabeth Banks is going to do behind the screen. I'm a fan of her work in front of the screen. I think she is hilarious. I think one of the first movies I saw her in was Swept Away with Madonna, but I've always been loving her work when she does comedy. Of course, when she's in 40-Year-Old Virgin, she's done so many different things that I love over the years. I loved God, she did this one movie. I cannot remember the name of it. I don't know why my mind went blank. I'm going to post a poster of it up in here, but it's one of my favorites that she did. It's kind of like a little horror movie, whichever, and it was just done so well. It was hilarious, whatever, and just gross all over, whatever. But yes, she's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing her directing something. I love to see a lot more female actresses, you know, get behind the camera and do their thing. So, but with that said, you guys, yes, looking forward to seeing the new Charlie's Angels when it comes out next year, you guys. Now, speaking of DC, now I talked about it earlier, and I could have talked about it back when I was talking in regards to Harley and Joker, but I wanted to really get into this part. We got a lot early in the week in regards to Joker, the origin movie, starring, of course, Joaquin Phoenix. We finally got a first look at actually what Joaquin Phoenix looks like, barefaced, no makeup. And let me tell you, when I saw the picture, all I could think of was, oh my God, it looks like the poor thing has been run down, like he has lived. That man has lived a life. Like, the face just, oh my goodness. And I'm just being straight honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He looks like, just, oh my goodness, like he's worked and worked and worked, and he's all worked out, like, you know, whichever. So, and I'm like, okay, he's looking his part, he's looking the way he's supposed to look, whatever. You can tell he lost quite a bit of weight as well. The hair, you know, if I didn't know no better, you would think that Joaquin was in his 70s. I'm sorry, he looks like the late 60s, early 70s in his facial, you know, his features. Just like, wow, just the things that people can do to make themselves look a certain way for a movie. You know, there's so many different people who do this. All these different actresses and actors have done that. But yeah, he's looking the part. I like that. Now, secondly, some other stuff that's actually come out as well, where they show some shots from a scene where it shows him look like he's following, I think, Zazie Beetz' character, and you see him just regular clothes. He comes up to a man, he's, you know, playing with his little nose, whatever, and all looks like he might have been like a clown, whatever. You see him, like, you know, interacting, whatever. I thought those were good. Then also, we just got some other video where it shows a scene that's being done, because before that you get some information where it shows a little test shot of him with full makeup on, and it kind of goes through like a little, like a flip around, like the video of like a film, you know, just flipping whatever and all, and it shows it all the way to the beginning where it's just him barefaced, and it eventually shows him in full makeup. Now, I will be honest, when I first saw it at the beginning of the week, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, it's got like, you know, the white, you know, the powder, and he has like the blue and the red, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm not sure how I'm gonna vibe with that. But then there's a scene where it shows him doing an actual scene, what looks like to be down in the subway area. He's getting off, and you see the crowd and all, somebody's being beaten up, whatever. He's in full Joker costume, makeup and clothes. That one with the full look, I was like, okay, I'm still not sure about the face part. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to change it now, because if they're doing scenes now where he's got the full costume, I don't think it's going to be changed. I thought they were still in the beginning stages of his overall makeup for the look, whatever, and just kind of seeing how it is. I don't know if that was leaked, you know, intentionally to kind of get some sort of, you know, response and feedback from the people, you know, who are looking forward to this movie, whatever. Some probably are like, he looks more like the older version of Joker from the 70s. And I pulled up something, I said, I can see the point of that. That does resonate closer to what I'm seeing from what they're giving us in this one, because yes, that's kind of what I'm vibing from him. Secondly, I'm kind of like the way he looks with everything together. Not when he's just in regular clothes with the face. When he has the jacket, the colors, orange, the suit, whatever, the purple, it just looks like it fits better. I know some people, when I see some of the thumbnails, the faces are just like, they just look like, meh, I'm not liking it. I'm like, this is this, but let's just be real. If they're already doing scenes in the movie with him in that full, I doubt it's going to be changed. And I doubt if they were to change it, they're going to CGI and change it to make it look a certain way where it's more green on his face with the red and the white. I doubt it. It's going to probably stay exactly the way it is now. I feel like regardless, Joaquin Phoenix is going to bring his A game for this. And I can just see from the part when he had the mask on, fitting in with the rest of the guys with the Joker mask off and then taking it off and then walking away behind the camera in the midst of the scene still being recorded. He looks like he's on his own part. I think he's going to do his thing. I'm not worried about that. Like I said, this whole cast, and of course him being at the overall helm of it, we can't go wrong. I feel like this is minor. I'm not worried, but I know it is a big thing to a lot of people, especially ones who read the comics. But I feel like that's minor compared to everything else about this movie that can be done and fleshed out very well. That I'm not going to make it all based off of just the overall look of his appearance with his face. So I'm hoping, just like a lot of people did not care for the way Heath Ledger looked, and then as soon as he showed his acting prowess, all of a sudden it's like, some people, you almost felt like they wanted to eat crow. And then look at that, the amount of accolades. He won an Academy Award, rest in peace. And he showed them, oh yeah, he made that character his own. I will say this, when you think about all the different Jokers, I'll probably note this somewhere in here, of course, the original one that I remember from early, like they said, 70s, 80s, and of course the one that happened in 80s, of course, from the movie with Jack Nicholson. That's my personal favorite. I actually loved a lot. And then of course the one with Heath Ledger did very well. And then we have the one from Suicide Squad with Jared Leto. They say that looks like some of the comic books like that. There's so many different genres of the comic book for Joker. That's why I said it's hard for you to kind of pinpoint, because it's like they're taking him from a certain era. That's why I can't get too mad. I don't read the comics, but I'm looking at all the different ones, so I'm trying to figure out which one they're gravitating more to. And this is the look they're giving his particular one. Now, like I said, when we get the Suicide Squad 2, we'll see the same one that Jared Leto did in that one. I'm not going to compare them. They're totally different ones being done in a different way for a different storyline. So that's how I do. I'm going to separate them and let Joaquin do his thing and just build this one up. But I feel like we're in for a treat. I'm going to just bypass that, whichever. I just feel like we keep seeing more screenshots, but I keep wondering why we keep seeing these things. Why are these things being, I don't know if it's being leaked out, or they're just choosing to show us a little bit just so people kind of, or they got some feedback from the people not liking how he looked, from just the, the film projector circling whatever his overall look, and they're like, well, let's put this out, let's show them this scene and see what they think about this, and then this is what they give us. So I don't know. That's what my take on that, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it is what it is. Sometimes they want to fill out, the people to see if they're on the right track, whatever, and then they'll continue. And then maybe we might not get too much more for right now. We might see a couple screenshots of Robert De Niro in character, of course, seeing his mother, Zazie Beetz a little bit more, and some other people who, of course, are tied in this, whichever. But I feel confident it's going to be a good movie, and that's all that matters to me. So, but moving on from that, I'm excited. I talked about, of course, last week, The Nun, talked about Conjuring, how they're getting ready to start on Conjuring 3 early next year. I'm excited about that. James Wan, of course, might be directing it. They're hoping he is, even though he's about to start doing press for Aquaman very soon. But after that, he has nothing planned that's in scope. Well, it looks like he has some other stuff that he's going to be working on very soon. It's going to be a short film that's being adapted into a movie. Why do I feel like I've known that before? Because that's happened before. Some other stuff like it's going to be called, I think the name will still be, it's a horror. It's called Milk. Now this is based off a short film that's got quite a few reviews and good awards for it. Now let me read the premise of it. It's called Milk. Follows a chilling story of a young teen boy with a controlling mother who soon begins questioning the nature of his reality. The short film has succeeded, like I said, in winning so many awards. Now I'm excited how they're going to take that short film and make it into a larger storyline, whatever, and all that can sustain whatever. Now, I recall one that I saw a couple of them in the last couple of years. I remember the one they did for Mama. I actually enjoyed that one. That was done very well. I remember Jessica Chastain was in that. It was done really good. I enjoyed that. Then the next one that I really enjoyed, which I just discussed, the little boy was in it, was Gabrielle Bateman, was Lights Out. That one was done very well. I think it was David Sandsberg. I want to make sure I say his name correctly. That was really done, because even the short film was straight creepy. And I love how they played homage to the female actress at the beginning who was in the short film. She was actually put into the movie adaptation, which was nice. I like that because a lot of people I could hear in the theater recognized her, and that's how we all knew about it. Because some people, they don't watch all these solo things, whatever, and all that. But it's always nice to hear other people who actually catch it, and understand the overall premise of it, whatever, and why this person's in the movie. But I'm looking forward to seeing this, and I know James Wan will make sure the script is written really well, that it can be flushed out really good. Because Mama, even though I really enjoyed it, wasn't so much in that script, whichever, and all that. And the same thing does go for Lights Out with and all that. They just tried to add a little bit of extra backstory, whatever, with the particular characters, like in Mama, understanding why she was the way she was and why the little girls gravitated to her, depending on what happened to them, because their father, which was a twin, from the actual the male actor, whichever, and they're living out in the forest for so long, that they're finally found or whatever, and then Jessica Chastain's character, not knowing how she feels about being, some sort of parent, whatever, and then taking a shine to the girls, trying to protect them from this supernatural entity of sorts. And then of course with Lights Out, this particular girl, the daughter, her mother grew up with the girl, she has a tendency to stay well hidden in the dark, doesn't like the light, just all these type of things. And it was done really well for her. I love good horrors. I love that they can take certain horrors that are based in short films and able to build the story. That lets you know that's some good writing on that. And people did enjoy Lights Out. It did very well at the theaters. We were really tripping in the theater. I remember, especially at the beginning when she kept turning the light off. That is always the trick, because the people were like, why are she keeps doing that? And that's exactly how I felt. I would like, heifer, I'd have been gone. But yes, let's not go there. But yes, that's how I felt about that. But yes, I'm excited for this one. I love anything that James Wan, honestly, he's one of those directors now, when you find out they're attached to this, you feel very confident that the movie will be good. I love when I get to a point with certain directors that you feel like that's what they garner, and it's well received, and you just know it and you don't have to really question it. He's right in there, that line with the rest of the ones that I like. And I can say that when it comes out, I most definitely will be watching this. Now, the last thing of my movie I was going to discuss was was it Thursday? Yes, Thursday. A movie came out. I was so excited. Well, the trailer came out, for Captain Marvel. I did not think we were going to get a trailer, but I did discuss how they said, actually it came out Tuesday, get my mind right. It, supposedly thought it was going to leak, but it actually didn't leak. Brie Larson actually went on Good Morning America and, did a little introduction announcement for it, and they showed the trailer, and from there, it came out. I had to wait all day to watch it. And it was just like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to wait that long. I brought my laptop and did it at work, but I wanted to be in my own element, comfortable when I did the reaction. And I enjoyed the trailer, you guys. It was awesome. Of course, little, Easter eggs. Of course, at the beginning, you see Blockbuster, again, I miss Blockbuster. I love them. And then, of course, understanding how the story is going to be told. Of course, her not remembering her past, seeing visions, not knowing, if they're real or not, whichever. Of course, her introduction to Nick Fury. Of course, Samuel L. Jackson, both eyes, hair, of course, Agent Coulson. That was awesome to see. Then also, noticing, you see the Skrulls, you see the Kree, you see the Star Force, just, oh my God, it was just so good. And I'm just so excited for it. It looks like it's going to be awesome. It comes up, of course, in March, and I'm looking forward to it. I know I didn't know a lot about Captain Marvel. I was learning over it. I know when they did Infinity War at the end, you saw the ending scene, whatever, where he sent out a signal to her. You saw her actual logo, whatever, and that's how we knew I had to do that. And the people in my theater that day literally lost their minds. So I knew they were excited because we know that's the next movie set. After Ant-Man and Wasp, what happened to him, but of course that's the next one going into 2019, so we're all excited to see that and see what she's going to bring to the table. I'm not familiar with all her powers. My colleague and I were talking about, he's like, have you been researching on her powers? I said, don't worry, I'm going to learn about what she can do, what she can bring to the table. I did hear in some reactions that I watched after I did mine, how she can be considered stronger than Thor and Hulk, whenever she's going to give, Thanos, run for money, he should watch out, There's so many different reactions that I watched. One in particular, Matthew Haynes, he loved it, and I loved watching his reaction because he kept talking about the mask, which was epic. It was an epic scene of her and her mask, which is in some of the pictures and research that I had done. So to see her mask, of course, and with the mohawk through, it was just such a nice scene. I am excited for this movie. Now, speaking of excitement, there were some other things that came up after the trailer that I thought just kind of like let me just say, individuals, they seem to always want to nitpick on certain things that are not even worth picking at, and especially when you come for it in a misogynistic way. I'm not here for it. Now, some stuff came out where some people weren't sure how they felt about Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, because of course she wasn't smiling in the trailer. Now, if you see the certain clips that are shown, you see the parts of her, as a pilot. She's about to, boost up, the machine and all that, get ready to go out and, and do whatever she needs to do for her work. Then you see scenes where she's walking with her Star Force, she's the leader, a team of her crew, for Star Force. Okay, she's looking serious. All right. There's other scenes, that you see or whatever, and she's not smiling. There's a couple scenes where she's in the car, with Nick Fury, and she has a little bit of a smile, little grin, whatever. Where is she supposed to be smiling at? Like, explain to me. And furthermore, you get a feeling that you don't know if she's going to be the perfect fit to play this role, this character, or bring to life, whatever, all based off of a trailer. Now, I find it ironic, being that she's a part of Marvel, and I've seen many other movies in Marvel, being Captain America, Iron Man, whatever, that we don't see them always smiling in their scenes. Definitely don't see a lot of that happening with, with Iron Man, Stark, or with Captain America. So I'm trying to figure out, where is it that when she's doing her role, that she has a smile, but for them it was not a problem. And that was where you see individuals, aka trolls, want to come out and post pictures where they decided to put out pictures where their corrections are made, and they have her smiling in those particular scenes that I'm discussing. I'm just like, find better battles to pick. This is not a battle. The movie is done. It's over with. Whatever is happening, move past it, because if that's what you want to complain about, then it's like, that's not her issue, that's your issue. And that's something you need to seriously not be worrying about. I'm like, we want to see what she's going to do. How's her origin really going to be told? How's she going to extend the story so we can move this along, so we can get ready for Avengers 4. I could care less that she's in the middle of walking probably towards Marvel, which is played by Jude Law, and she's looking serious. She's about to handle some business. They're about to probably deal with some bad guys, some villains, whatever. I'm not smiling. Do you really think she's supposed to be smiling while she's walking towards him, or smiling while she's getting ready to, power up her jet? Like, really? I'm just like, oh my God. It's like, fine. It's like, what's with all this? I mean, the nitpicking is just like so just tacky and just not even called for. It's like some people have too much goddamn time on their hands. Excuse my language, but I'm just being real. I get sick of that nonsense. It's like, stop. I said, it always seems like with the females, and let me just put a quick thing on the rant. I said, I'll be honest with you. I get that sometimes, when I walk down the street. I know some females probably could attest this. You're walking down there, smile more, girl. Nobody wants to hear that crap. I'm on my way to work, so as I'm walking down the sidewalk, I should have this and smile with her. Brothers be looking like, what the hell's wrong with her? If I don't have a phone in my hand where I look like I'm talking to somebody, you really think something's wrong with me? I had a fake, generic, default smile on my face as I walk down the street to go to my job or a place of business or going to a grocery store. I need to have a fake smile just so I can make you feel more happy, safe, and confident. You better get the hell up out of here. I don't think so. And I'm glad that Brie Larson's retweeted that tweet with the girl who came back and did a clap back at the gentleman who felt the need to do that. It's like, please don't. I said, you're not going to win nothing, whatever. And spearmint is, I'm hurt your feelings. It's nothing to do with hurt feels. Have respect. Women respect men, whatever, and all that. I know many men who don't walk around smiling every day of their damn lives, take many selfies that they post and don't ever smile at them. That's just how they are. And I don't sit there and make them feel, damn, you don't smile enough. If you don't want to smile, you don't want to smile. It is what it is. So it's like, you stop being one-sided and gender-sided, where it's always the females have to smile on every damn thing, and the men, it's okay, you give them a pass. I get sick of that crap. It's like, move on. You need to worry about how good the goddamn movie is. Don't worry about if she's smiling every minute of the daggone day. Who cares? It's like, whatever. That's not the whole point of this movie. So, but anyway, I had to say that because that just fired me up when I saw that crap when I was reading one of my blogs. I'm not here for that stuff. It's like, it's other things. Pick something worth discussing, that was wrong maybe with the movie, but not with that. That's nothing. That's not those particular scenes. She's serious for a reason, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's perfectly fine. There's probably only a small few people who are actually having a problem with this, but because I think overall, everybody's really taking a shine to this actual trailer. From what I boasted earlier, I think it's like over 104 million views within the first 24 hours. So that speaks volumes right there, and kudos to that. Yay, Marvel, you're doing something right, because people are loving what you're putting out and they're loving what they're seeing. So in the end, they're happy, and I'm going to be happy when I go and give them my money probably 2 or 3 times in that one weekend, because I'm going to show so much love to Marvel, Captain Marvel. It's not going to even be funny. So with that said, you guys, that is all of my movie news, guys. Comment below for any of the things that I discuss. I would love your feedback. I want to know what you guys think. And with that said, I will see you next weekend as usual with more movie news. You guys take care.